We are live. All right, we're going live. Doing it
We're
live.
live. We're good.
There we go.
Live. We are
live, my
coming
friend.
to you live. Welcome to another wonderful Tuesday night of What the FiGPiN. How's everybody doing tonight?
What the FiGPiN?
What in the FiGPiN is going on, everybody? This is episode 40, a highlight. Never knew we'd get here. An awesome episode we have for you. We have a very special guest. I hope everybody's tuning in. We were a little late, trying to fix my hair like Legacy Fox called out in the chats, but we made it. We're here. Before we introduce our fabulous guest, Alex, how are you tonight?
I'm doing swell, Battle. It's good to see you guys, and welcome, Amado. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Hi. I'm going to do the mute thing because my kids are like running all over the house here. So I asked them. I tried to time their they get like half hour on iPad. So I tried to time that with this, but it just all fell apart now. So
hey man, that we're all about family, man, so it's all good.
I get it.
Sir John, how are you this evening?
I am doing well, man. Doing very well actually. I'm still in my work clothes, so I apologize about not being a little bit less formal here. But definitely excited. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Without further ado, the president and co-founder of FiGPiN, Amado. Greetings. How are you?
All right. No, this mute button is not going to work. I was just texting my wife saying, please keep them quiet downstairs.
Honestly, the kids are the best part of the show. We kind of love the distractions.
Yeah. It's the noise canceling headphones don't help because whenever I'm on calls, people are like, Amado, what's that terrible noise? I'm like, I don't hear anything. Everything's fine. So I'm just trying to do this for everyone out there. Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry. This is not starting off well.
No, this is the best. This is what we love about What the FiGPiN, especially coming to you live. Anything and everything goes. Like this is unrehearsed.
Yeah, exactly.
We're coming at you. We're raw. We love it. That's, I think, why we have the most fun here. But I was just asking, how were you? Thank you very much for joining us. This is going to be an awesome 40th episode.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about and some cool stuff to show off. We were just getting that all set up. So yeah, it's definitely going to be good. So let's get going.
Awesome.
So let's jump right in, I guess.
Yeah.
So before I jump into the question, I'm loving your t-shirt. So when are the cool t-shirts going to be for sale that we can buy all this merch?
I don't have an answer for that. We tried on-demand printing. So here was the idea, right? When we do our cons, we have screen printed FiGPiN logo shirts, and then for a while we did different graphics for each con.
Mm-hmm.
To be completely honest, it became a logistical nightmare because you have to set up the screen print files, and screen printing is more expensive, and we're getting like bolder with the logo designs. So doing 5, 6, 7 color screens was not really an option. So we said let's look at on-demand printing, and so we tried a few samples. This is one of the samples of on-demand printing. It looks good here, like with the high contrast, but it wasn't the same quality as screen printing, as people in the t-shirt world know. And so that's kind of where we left it off. We tried some of the on-demand stuff. It didn't work. And I think what we're going to do now is just go back to the straight FiGPiN Collect Awesome shirts that are just white on black, and sell really high-end screen printed shirts on .com. It's not a high priority project right now, if I'm being completely honest with you, but that's our next step right now.
Well, I'm kind of waiting for Alex to turn her hat around and it be the reveal of the FiGPiN hats that we've been seeing there before, but
definitely not. But it does go with his shirt.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We did have you guys saw the FiGPiN hat at actually
I think you're wearing a FWAP 2.0, right?
Someone had it. Yeah, here. I think I might have it here.
I think Dan put a teaser up. He kind of posted a little thing out saying like, "Who's excited for these? What are your thoughts?" Snapback.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat. You guys want to have the snapbacks form fitted?
I think it was like this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
But going down this path taught me how crazy people are about their hats. Like you don't get hats wrong. Like you can get t-shirts wrong, but don't get hats wrong. Because if you get hats wrong, you're dead. And so there's like a whole hat matrix that I have drawn of all these different styles of hats. And so I kind of like, that Homer Simpson going back into the bushes, like that was me with this whole hat thing. Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going into that minefield.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So there is one thing, and I just had to check because I was pretty sure I was positive about this, but Amado, I know you were on the show a couple of times with us, and you were part of our old show when it was just FiGPiN boosters, and you were gracious enough to go ahead and be on our very first episode of What the FiGPiN when we changed kind of the format there. So, hey, you from episode 1 to episode 40, man, we really appreciate you joining us and everything that you shared with us and the community. So, again, thanks for being with us. Heading towards the end of con season, you have done so many cons this year, and I know that you have such an aggressive schedule for next year. Do you want to share a favorite memory maybe that you've had for the con? I know you have 2 more coming up before the end of the year, but any favorite memories that you have so far?
I think like there's 2 general moods that I really like about the cons, and one of them is a super selfish one, and the other one is like a team focused one. Because when the cons are on, it's just you can't process anything. It's like too much. There's just too much input. The lines we have, the fans, the interaction with the fans, the noise. It's hard to process all of that. But there's 2 things that happen, before the con that I really like. So I'm going to start off with the team one, which is I love building the booth with our team. I love the whole getting there 2-3 days before the show opens, seeing the crates show up, looking at each other and saying, oh, and this kind of putting this thing together, and having all the chaos of hundreds of other booths trying to go up at the same time. It's a really exciting time, and I love doing that with my team. And as some of you may or may not know, I used to do exhibit designs like in a previous life, and so it's something that I'm familiar with, and I just really enjoy that time. I love the building of these things. To the more specific, like good memory of 2022, and again, this is going to seem so like superficial and shallow on my part, but I loved San Diego Comic-Con because it's like a 15-minute drive from my house, and we had, how like the convention center there has like the parking garage under the hall.
Yep.
And so we had purchased from the show organizers like parking passes for the parking there, and I felt like so VIP, like pulling up to the convention. There's like thousands of people everywhere, and I like flashed the parking badge, and they're like, everybody move out of the way, because they just don't want me to run people over, but in my mind it's like, hey, they're all moving for me. And then they kind of they let me down into the garage, and I park wherever, and I just like go up the stairs. I'm inside the hall, and it's like such a surreal way to experience the show, because 1 minute I'm dropping my kids off at school, and then like 10 minutes later I'm ascending into this like crazy town, of a con, and it's just a cool memory
that's awesome, man.
Hey,
it's the little things that count, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. You said it was 15 minutes from where you live. The day of the con, is it still a 15-minute drive, or are you talking about, just like in New York City, you could live a half mile away, but it's taking you 40 minutes to drive that half mile. So what does that look like for that con there?
No, it absolutely is. Yeah. Even on like craziest con day, it was like 15 minutes to get in there.
That's awesome.
It's not bad.
I was on the East Coast last week, and I went into the city with my kids, into New York City with the kids, and from where we live in the New Brunswick area, for people that know New Jersey, it takes like 30 minutes to get to the Lincoln Tunnel. And then from that point to get to where I was going, which was like 1.2 miles away, took another 30 minutes.
I know, that's crazy.
So it's just, painful.
Yep.
Well, so before we move on, I will say, FiGPiN has been gracious enough to let me help them at some of the FiGPiN booths, including San Diego and New York. I will second that. One of the coolest things I enjoyed from the con was walking in and seeing the chaos of everybody setting up all their booths and things being built and them hanging stuff. I mean, boxes and pallets everywhere. And then all of a sudden it's like 2 hours until the show starts, and you look
And
around,
it's crazy.
boxes everywhere. And then they're like 15 minutes before the show starts and everything's buttoned up, clean, ready to rock and roll. And you're like, what, how did this happen? Like, this is insane. And that was my favorite part, like behind the scenes stuff. Just, it wasn't like this 10 minutes ago, like it was in shambles, and now everybody's just.
And they do it every week at that place, like every week of that whole year. It's like, all right, Comic-Con's out. Next week, it's the, New York Refrigerator Dealers Association that's having a show. And then the next week, like, there's always something happening in there. And
that's pretty
so
fun.
trade shows are fun like that. There's, again, going back to my previous life, I used to say, when people don't really know about trade shows, I would tell them, if you look around you, and like you guys do the same right now, you look around you right now, every single thing in your house was exhibited at a trade show, whether it was the carpets or the paints or the picture frames or the doors or the furniture or what you're wearing or the chairs. Every single manufactured product or construction material or collectible was at one point or another exhibited at a trade show, because that's how businesses learn about one another.
That's pretty
cool.
crazy.
Think about.
Yeah, including like pharmaceuticals, like everything. So, but back to FiGPiN.
So I know that I think it was last week or maybe the week before, you did on Reddit the AMA, Ask Me Anything. So want to know, what was your most difficult question, and then what was your favorite question that you had came across during that event?
Yeah, that's the difficult one is easy, but the favorite one, I think it's hard for me to think of a favorite one. But the difficult one, right? Like, it's the elephant in the room here. Like, people are unhappy with things that we're doing, with certain things that we're doing, and we have to always answer in the same way. We're a business. We're trying to do our best to grow this business in a healthy way. And sometimes we're going to do things that people are not going to be happy with. Are they always, the right answers? Are they always the right moves on our part? No, I don't think we have a perfect track record of how we do things. Are we trying to get better? Are we learning from what we do? I think we are. The issues of like, how are things handled at cons, issues of how are exclusives given out, issues of what else is there? Like, what are the other big ones these days? These are all just, I think, part of our growing pains, and then also growing or like contractions. Like, there are times when we try to scale, and then there are times when we have to like shrink back.
Yeah.
And believe me, for everything that fans see and are like frustrated with, we're 100 times more sensitive to those things as a business, as a group of people trying to build this company and this product. So when you see like FiGPiNs in Walmart, right? We're all thinking like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, we're getting the exposure that we desperately need in front of everyone. And then you see all of the all of the pitfalls of going out that big. And, we try to respond to that as a company. And again, sometimes you kind of grow, sometimes you contract. And with each one of these movements, there are going to be people that don't like how we're responding to it. And then add on top of that, we have this long development cycle. You always hear me talk about it, 6 to 9 months of development, where whatever things you see right now were decisions made 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. So when someone's like, hey, why did you do this, and this last week? And I'm like, oh, no, that wasn't last week. That was last year.
Yeah.
We didn't do that last week. How can I explain that?
And Amado, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if I can just give some context here for what you're saying, and I think I have a number in my head, and you'll have to jump in with it. But FiGPiN obviously being a growing company, I know that there's you and the other founders, and they play their roles, but I believe it's maybe 20 to 30 employees that you have, and maybe less. I'm not positive, but I'm just thinking that numbers in my head. So again, just trying to give some context here, everything that you just mentioned, and you trying to go ahead and still adjust and be respectful to the collectors. There's a lot of that says a lot about you as a company, but also just want to make sure that people are understanding, like, this is not a 100+ employee company that has all the resources to be able to go ahead and adjust very quickly. So I think you guys are doing a very good job with the limited amount of resources and employees that you do have. So I just wanted to go ahead and make sure people were aware. Again, I'm not sure. Again, I think 20 or 30 people is I'm pretty sure is right around the right number.
No, it's like right in the middle, like right in the middle there, like around 24, 25.
Yeah. So again, I just wanted to make sure people were aware that, like, you still are a huge company, but a very small and close team there. So yep, I said it, huge. I know you guys are gonna make fun because I said huge. Yep. So again, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to go ahead and share that, I think you guys are doing a good job for the size of your company and how big you actually guys are.
Look, I'll be the first one to say that we make mistakes. We make mistakes, and I think that the quality of a company is their ability to, admit when a mistake is made and then do something to fix it. It's you see me out in the community. I try as much as I can to read everything, to listen what everyone is to listen to what everyone is saying, to engage with the community. But it's literally impossible to try and synthesize all that information into an action plan that satisfies the needs of the company, of the founders, of the different kind of mindsets, satisfies the needs of all the collectors, keeps us growing, is financially viable. Like, it's an impossible math solution. So some things will win, in some cases, and other things will win in other cases. The one thing that I can assure you every single day in, day out, is that the product that we make is always going to be the best collectible out there. And I know I've said that in the past, and people like Amado, like, take it easy. That's a big statement there, but I really think the attention to detail, the manufacturing quality, the licenses, the art, the digital experience, for $15 or $20, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
And just to share and echo with what you're saying, before you even made that comment, there was people in the chat saying the exact same thing, that the quality of the pin is amazing. So again, just to echo your comment there, before you said it, there was people already commenting the same exact thing you just said.
And I think there's one last thing to add to that, right? So in New York Comic Con, I had a chance to walk the convention, and there's actually a lot of other companies making pins, making like really beautiful pins. And like, I walked over to them and I talked to them, and I had like a FiGPiN t-shirt on, and I'm like, wow, these are really beautiful. It's really awesome work that you're doing. And they're looking at me like, why are you telling me this? You're not supposed to say this. I'm like, no, I just want you to know, like, what you're making is really nice. Like, congratulations. We know how hard it is to make really nice stuff. But we make fig pins, and those are enamel pins. Like I think we have to be very cognizant of the fact that we've now become a collectible form factor. Like, I think more people care that these are fig pins than they care that they're enamel pins, if that makes sense. Because fig pin is more of a collectible thing than just a enamel pin with like some things on the back. And I think that puts us on a level where we have to just work harder. Like, we have to always push harder, because like I said, there are a lot of other people who are coming up and making really amazing, beautiful products. And so for us, it's always going to be, how can you make FiGPiN better? How can you make the experience better? How can you make the product better?
Just to chime in and give my 2 cents, I totally agree. The detail, the quality of the pin, we have the action poses now, but I found the Ultra Instinct Goku with the big, fireball on it. That's the things that draw us in. When we're seeing them in the pictures, we're seeing them in the stores, those catch our eye. I know when I'm looking at the newer pins, the glitter in them, the detail of like all their small little pouches, that's the thing that really catch people's eye. It has turned into a crazy little collectible thing. I think the digital part has a huge part to do with that. I think everybody's kind of expecting and wanting, like, okay, I have this physical part, but you know what? I got a lot of friends who enjoy this stuff. I want to interact with them. I want to be able to get into that. Now, when we are such a small company and you're saying you only have about 25 employees, you're going to run into those hardships. And I will personally say, I think yourself and the whole entire FiGPiN company crew are some of the most open, easily talked to, accessible. Like, that's why I like you guys. Like, I've never seen another company out there that like we know who the people are. And so when I'm just a big advocate of like, you're never going to make everybody happy. Like, it's just not the way it is. So you got to keep just trudging along. Sure, we're going to piss people off, but that's just the way it's going to be. With that being said, is we as collectors who have been with you guys for a long time, we've seen the changes that you all have made, and you do listen to us. So I think, hats off to you, sir, on that, because that is what, maybe there's one thing that we don't like, but we see the change, and then that runs into something else, but we see the change. So with that being said, I mean, it's really cool to see the growth process. The things that you guys have done in such a short amount of time, and just I think I kind of started late. I've only been at it like 2.5 years. The things that I've seen in that 2.5 years are phenomenal. And sure, there's some things that you kind of like scratching your head about, but then you realize, well, yeah, that decision was made a year ago, a year and a half ago. So in my personal opinion, I know it's not what everybody agrees with, is any kind of talk, whether it's good or bad, is just good publicity, is getting your name out there. Of course, we want it on the side of good, of course, but bad publicity is still publicity and none the same. So keep on rocking. We love what you do.
And if people aren't expressing to us in whatever channels are available, whether it's social media or email or support tickets or forums like this, if people aren't telling us how they feel, the good, the bad, and the ugly, then there's probably something wrong.
Right.
The company and this phenomenon is probably dying. If people are at a point where like, I don't even care to tell them I'm angry, or I don't even care to tell them that I'm happy, then there's probably something really wrong. And I'm not saying that I like hearing, people yell at me or about the things that we do, but we know it's coming from a place of, they've invested in this thing. They've spent time. There's a passion for it, and they want to see it done a certain way. And I respect that. I can never not respect that. And again, I'm talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, if someone comes at us and starts like hurling insults and stuff, you kind of have to shut that down, because you just can't can't process that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
For
One
sure.
thing
But I
will
think
say,
I think the Reddit AMA was insanely good from that perspective. Like everybody was super respectful. Everybody was super clear and specific. There was no bashing. There was no anger. We were just a bunch of adults talking it through.
yeah.
And,
Yep.
and I think that's something I could, you know, I could be very proud of, to at least be on that side of it, you know, like that. I'm having a healthy conversation with our fans.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism from both perspectives, both the company and the fans, is sometimes a hard mesh.
Mhm.
For the constructive criticism part on the fans, I always say, you know, if you were in that position, whether you're the seller, you know, FiGPiN itself, one of the resellers, even a reseller, like a flipper in the case, like if you're telling me some of those opportunities came up and you wouldn't jump on it when the opportunity struck, like, come on, you're kind of lying to all of us. Like you would do it too if you had the opportunity. So while there's constructive criticism to be given at that time so that we can fix it moving forward, but you're like, come on, you probably do it yourself. So I always kind of remember that as a fan. Like sometimes they need to be heard, right? But come on, you're probably gonna do it too.
So Amado, and Battle brought up a word that kind of struck me to go back because I did see it scroll through the chat. And I know that before we started, we talked about having some questions be asked, and I asked that in the chat. But one of the things actually that was brought up in the chat was about growth of the brand. So Jody and Mel, or Jode and Mel, I'm not sure how they're saying that on there. But they're asking, you know, is there any analytics or numbers that you can share about the growth of FiGPiN? It seems like there are a lot of new collectors. So, you know, from the beginning of the year to where we're at now, or last quarter, I'm not sure how you guys go ahead and share that, you know, look at those analytics, you know, but has it been a positive year for you as far as, you know, the company as a whole with, you know, your orders from, I guess, retailers as well as figpin.com, but then also, you know, how has your app penetration been as well?
Yeah, so like I was saying before, there are some places where we see growth and we deal with it, and some places where we have to contract. We did start to pull out a little bit out of the big box stores because, as I think a lot of you experienced in those stores, finding FiGPiNs, finding them in the right store, finding them in the right spot in the right store, having some kind of consistent experience with our brand in those places was very challenging. So we're trying to address that. We're trying to figure out how to make that better. And in doing so, we kind of backed out of them a little bit. So that's an area where you see, you know, a scaling down. The cons is an area where you see a scaling up. New York Comic Con was our biggest show ever by the number of SKUs, by how much we sold, by how much kind of buzz there was around the booth. And that's kind of an East Coast show too. We, like, statistically, the majority of our customers tend to be West Coast, strangely enough. So that was really cool. We're seeing, you know, the app is just constantly marching up like this. It's not it's not necessarily a hockey stick, but it's always growing.
Yeah.
And we see people, we see like very healthy, what we call like app penetration or unlock rates on every SKU. Strange how you could see like a 3x or 4x increase by property. And I can give you an example, My Hero Academia has one of the highest unlock rates of any property out there.
You mean
It's
Dragon Ball?
Sorry?
No, I was saying you mean Dragon Ball and MHA, just so we can make John happy at the same time.
No, it's like it's one of these like weird data anomalies where time after time after time, those pins, regardless of their run size, just have higher unlock rates. And you guys see the same data, right? I mean, if you could comb through all that data, we kind of have no idea why. You know, the only thing you could think of is that the fans of MHA just happen, you know, in the Venn diagram, they happen to overlap with tech like-minded collectors. So specific metrics, I don't, I can't really share here, but again, to recap, like there are areas where we try to shrink to get better at, areas where we're growing. Like you said earlier, next year we're going to almost 3 times the number of cons that we did in 2022. So that's going to be very, very challenging, but I think also very good for the brand. And with the app, and as we're going to show you today, we keep pushing the development on it. I know it's been slow. Any criticism about how long Battles has taken to come out is well deserved, but it's really important for people to understand that the FiGPiN app makes $0 for us. As a matter of fact, it costs us money. I'm not going to tell you how much it costs us every month, but you guys would you'd think we're crazy, but it's something we believe in. It's part of our core brand pillars, right?
Yeah.
You've heard me talk about that LAPD thing before, like the licenses, the art, the presentation, and the digital. And so we keep investing in it. And, I think from the AMA or somewhere, I had talked about a premium version of the app, and, people were like rolling their eyes up like, oh, I'm not going to pay for premium. And that's one of the reasons why we haven't done it yet, is I've said to the team for the past 2 years, we are not going to do a premium version of the app until we have such a compelling offering that people will be happy to pay a few bucks a month to use the app. If that's not the general consensus in the app user base, then we're not going to do it. So, I think we'll get there, and we'll see. I'm looking forward to that. So, I think that answers their question from the chat, right?
Definitely.
More or less.
Well,
I would just say the only correction I would say is the MHA collectors are the superior collectors. That would just
Here we
be
go.
the only,
Here we go.
only modification I would add in there.
So,
But-
and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Alex.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll go ahead, since you set up that there is going to be a preview of the app tonight. I actually, and just as you, Amado, I hear some commotion going on that I have to go ahead and deal with my kids. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute, but I'm going to go ahead and let Alex introduce the next portion for you. So I'll go ahead and I'll do this for you guys, but I apologize about my short absence here.
No problem. So you kind of mentioned already a little bit about the app, and you said that you had something amazing that you wanted to share with us, and we're super excited. So you want to let us know what we're gonna
Did I
see
say
today?
amazing?
Yeah,
I did. Oh,
yeah,
man.
you did.
I should have used a different word.
It's perfect. If anybody's watching, make sure you hit the like, the share, send it to everybody, whoever wants to see anything about it. A little sneak preview could be coming. Oh man.
So how John might have left prematurely because for some reason it's not bringing up the screen of the app, right?
Yeah, I just see the name.
It let it in, but we need to make it presenter and
Well, if we can't get it to work, I have a good segment to just keep us rolling.
All right, yeah, let's do it. When John gets back, we'll do it.
Figure it out. But if not, there was an epic launch, or not necessarily launch, but a release today that's going to come out in the near future. I think it's next week? Wasn't it? Didn't a little Sailor Moon action happen today?
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Today, I have to check my phone. Was that today? Sorry, I'm like on.
Man, my company has me working nights right now. I haven't worked nights in 4 years. So my days and nights have been running together. I don't know what day it is. I have no idea what time it is. I don't even watch the sun come up and go down anymore. I'm so messed up.
Yeah, we had the rest of we had Sailor Moon, the rest of the Guardians announced today. I was about to say, you got me, like you tripped me up. I was about to say the rest of the commons, but you got me there.
All right, I apologize. I am back. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Hey, John, something's not working right here because you're not seeing my my phone.
And are we in presenter mode?
Yeah, I have that set.
We tested this and it was
I know we
perfect.
did test it.
Do you think maybe iOS like times out or something, or?
So for everybody in the chat saying more Sailor Moon comic box sets, what I was trying to see if I could figure out a little something in there. We haven't figured it out yet. Hasn't happened, but we did get those releases today that are on the FiGPiN Twitter, Instagram page. All those, make sure you go follow.
All right, you are sharing your screen now.
There you go. All right, there you go. How's that?
Perfect.
All right, so what do we see here? We see, I could hear all the screenshots happening.
Well, you're on the main page where we can go ahead and see the new releases coming up for, well, this obviously is a test app. So it was when the Simpsons second wave of the Simpsons were coming out, and Mando.
Yeah, this is old. This is going to be old data because our development environment doesn't pull the newest data. So don't mind. Okay, I have to first. You're going to see a lot of weirdness in here because again, this is a development environment that you're looking at. It's not super polished. So please no comments about weirdness. There's weirdness everywhere. Just live with it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice here is the unlock functionality has been moved to the top right, and that's going to be in a persistent location there. So when you go to unlock, when you want to unlock a pin, you hit that unlock icon to the right. This square icon with a dash through it is just a placeholder icon for the battle arena. So I'm going to just go there now, and this is going to list these different. This is going to list these different arenas. So the general concept of arenas and FiGPiN battles is that they happen. It's not just one universal place where you do it. There are different arenas, and they happen in different times and in different places. So, for example, you can have a New York Comic Con battle arena 2022, and you can have a FiGPiN warehouse party arena and so forth. So what you see here is just like some demo arenas that we're playing with. So if I go into one of these, you'll see. Did we misspell boop beep bop? You'll see. You'll see that it's just like me and one of our devs like doing all the testing. So so this very first one is like 4.7, like FiGPiN 4.7.5 against number 8.7.4, and you'll see that 8.7.4 won, and that's how it won those 3 rounds, right? It's a battles is based on a 3-round model, and so you'll be able to go through the arenas, check out what's going on in the different arenas, etc. Now, if I go to my collection, and again, there's going to be weirdness in here, so just bear with me. Let's say I go to my Mad Hatter here. There's going to be a new battle card, right? So I open up the battle card. So this is the Mad Hatter's view of battles. Hold on, I just got to cough a second. So just like the arena selector that we saw at the top, Mad Hatter number 608 can go in here and see those same arenas. So when he chooses an arena to go and battle in, he's going to be auto paired with other pins in that arena that have similar statistics. So if I go to if I go to this top one here, it's going to show me all of the battles that are happening in there. And again, there's some like weird formatting that's going on here, so just ignore that for now. And so I can just hit battle now, and it takes me into the arena. So now what it's done is it's paired me up with, oh my God, look at the score of that pin. It's paired me up with this is our like super pin in the app in our development environment, this Protagonist 210. And the way battles works is really simple. If we just go back here to the very beginning of the FiGPiN app, we all know that the factory score multiplied by the story score gives it its FiGPiN power. So 81 times 90 is 5840, I think. So this concept of factory times story gives you power is really what battles is built on. So if I go back into battles and I hit battle now, it might pair me up with someone else. No, so this is the same idea now. My Mad Hatter on the bottom has all of his story cards down here, and he has his factory cards up above. So if I take my 50 times 7, you'll see that it's a 350 roll, right? And we have basic in there just as a placeholder. Like that will be my quote unquote attack, right? My turn. Or I could say, 20 times 50. So I could choose to roll 1,000, right? And so what I'm going to do is look at Protagonist's cards. And so you could obviously see all kinds of nonsense in there. But I'm going to look at his cards and try to figure out how to play this thing, because it's a 3-round battle. Do I go out strong by rolling like 2,700, or do I go out kind of like weak by rolling a 70? So let's see. I'll do something like 500 and roll that, right? So I rolled 500. For some reason, he rolled a what was it? A 210. Yeah. So I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to do 7 times 10 because maybe he's not very smart, and roll that. Nope. So he beat me, right? So now it's 1-1. So how's this? How are we going to do this one? I'm pretty sure that a big roll like this is going to win. So let's see what happens there. Oh boy. So I was wrong about that, because again, Protagonist has like 100 story cards, and it's an unfair battle. So he won that one, and these were the scores: round 1, 2, 3.
So Amado, just to ask a question real quick there, does the other person's pin that you're battling have to go ahead and select something, or is it done?
No, it's real time. No, it's
okay.
Well, there's 2 answers. One is you're waiting for the other player to do it, so it's a real time battle, right? But we also have an auto battle mode, which you can set up. Like if I wanted to just put Mad Hatter into the arena, I could go into this area here. This is still an unfinished screen, but I can go into this area and I say, hey, like Mad Hatter, I want you to this is how I want you to play all 3 rounds against anyone that you get paired with.
That's awesome.
I always want you to roll a 200, 175, 2,700, and I save that. So that'll be part of his, like that'll be me programming him as a bot, right? And then before I enter the arena, there's going to be a little switch here that says auto battle or not. Do you want him to just auto battle in the arena, or do you want to kind of do it manually?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So if I go in there again, let's see who it pairs me again. Oh boy. I'm gonna try to find a different pin, because that's
don't worry, let me add him.
Terrible experience.
Battle, put a guy in there. I'll battle with you. I'll throw some hands.
Let me see. If I go up against the same guy again, I'm gonna scream. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So if we look at his cards, he has like pretty good cards, right? So, and I can't see his serial number, obviously. I could just see his cards, and I can't do anything beyond that. I just, because it is public knowledge, right? Like I know FiGPiN -official2's Batman has those story cards by way of unlocker room and user lookup. And then my Hawks has, good cards too. So this is like an interesting setup here. Now, to make it more interesting, let's look at my serial number. So this is my Hawks serial number. And for everyone that's going to go grab that serial number and try to unlock it, knock yourselves out. So what this does here, let me close that. So if I say 20 times 20 is 400, and I could just hit basic and that's my roll. But if I opened up my serial number, I can now roll this thing that we call rando, because it's going to take one of those numbers and randomly insert it into that string of 400. So it could be 5,400, it could be 500, it could be 450 or 405, right? And it's just going to randomly just throw one of those out.
Wow.
It might be like a killer roll if it puts that 5 in front of the 4, or it might be a lousy roll if it makes it 405. So let's see
Is
what
it only ever 4 digits, or do you have a 5th digit available?
Well, no, it's only 4 digits because
okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw what it rolled there, but it was a 450, right? So it inserted the 5 after the 4, and so that's how you use the random, because what that does is it adds a little bit more kind of chaos to this thing, or if you happen to have a serial number that is really like juicy, like numerically speaking, you could use that to your advantage in a battle.
That's
so if you're
cool.
if you're up against someone that's like 100 story cards, and you have a good serial number, that could change the tide of the battle. So I'm going to just do another roll here, and then I'm just hitting whatever right now. So, all right, so I won. Very cool. The other thing that you could do during the battle is, we find my. So this guy has boosts, right? Have you guys ever heard of boosts?
A little bit, once or twice.
Boost awesome.
Once or twice a second. So if I go into battles here, I'm going to go into this arena with my prototype armor Boba Fett. So if I scroll, you'll see I have 2 boosts. Now, why is that boost color different? If I say I'm going to roll 2 times 2, it's 40, right? But, and this is where everyone's going to get really angry at us. I can hit this 2x boost thing, and it'll double the boost power in that roll. So like, how a lot of people have 100 boosts, like max boost pins.
Yep.
It'll roll 20 times 200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But your 100 boosts are going to get used up forever. It's going to get zeroed out. Your boosts
so
are going to get zeroed out.
pin will deplete its boosts by battling and you using the 2 times boosts.
Yeah.
If
you don't want to use it,
you can never regain boost on that pin. Like
no, you can regain boost,
or
you go right back to the it's like you're resetting boosts like a snap would reset boosts. You could go back to earning boosts old school, or
That's
however
cool.
you want. Yeah. So this is like, what one of the guys calls a low Earth orbit ion cannon, where it's just like you're just like, use everything. We're just going to just like, I have to win this round. I have 100 boosts. Just make it a win. So but remember, you don't have to. I could still roll a 40 here, right? See, I should have used it. Well, that wouldn't have made a difference, because it would have been like a 4 times 40, right? We haven't finished the screen of what happens when a battle is over. So here, let me try to get, okay, so that's it. And we also, like, there's still some minor details like we're working out, but what's going to happen when when a battle is over, this screen is going to insert this like score capsule into the history of that arena. So now it's going to be the next one in the arena history. So if we go, well, this is the history of the pin, but like if you go back to the arena, it'll just insert it into that history.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to just check out all of that's happening in there.
So Amado, you're getting a
Yeah.
lot of questions in the chat about
I bet.
the purpose of battling. Like, what do you get if you win? What happens if you lose?
Bragging
Yeah.
rights, ultimate power.
So two things that we okay. One of the things that's going to happen is that you're here like let me put up my pin, and I hope I don't screw this up because there's a lot of stuff that's still a little fluid. So my battle card, every FiGPiN is going to start with a 5-point battle card, and when you get to 100, you could cash in that battle card for collector score. So now your collector score can go up. You basically get like a badge, and so you know what more collector score gets you.
More boosts.
Or boosts. Yeah, so it kind of closes that loop there, and it also is going to with collector's score. You know, we have the whole badge kind of system that we're working out where we want to do logo pins or badge pins that you earn based on different like badge levels that you get. So, Alex, to your question, it will eventually lead to you getting really rare pins.
What?
Love
That's
that.
really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you're kind of forcing people to actually use the app to go ahead and get a physical product. So you flip the tide with having a physical product tied to a digital experience, and now you're using that digital experience to go ahead and actually get a physical product.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about forcing, but
Well, I mean,
yeah,
it's
I
not
think
forcing,
that's
but
part
I'm
of-
saying, but you're going ahead and enticing people to go ahead and interact with your app, right? I mean,
exactly. We're because I mean, I think it's really important, and you know, I'm probably not giving the best demo ever, but I think it's really important to make this interaction just really light and quick and simple. You know, shouldn't be like a 2-hour strategy game. It's just something you could do like while walking, you know, and I think that's what will make the history of your FiGPiN more engaging, because it'll show like this thing, you know, won this many battle points at New York Comic Con, right? Because it was a pin from New York Comic Con, or if it was a pin from some other event, and while you were there, it was able to do these things, or it was a pin that went to like a GoFig, right? Because that's like our verification method that you are somewhere. So
Yeah.
you do like a GoFig, if you remember that from the warehouse, a party. Excuse me. So there's one more thing I wanted to explain here, and that is, if you find yourself in a situation where you've lost, because if you lose a battle, you lose your battle points, right? These are points that you're winning and losing. So if your pin gets zeroed out, it's not that it'll never be able to battle again. In setup, we're adding a feature here that will let you convert boosts into battle points, right? So you could go in there and say, hey, you know what? I want to go and have a few battles in there just to try it out, but my pin is zeroed out, but it has, 100 boosts. I'm going to go burn a few of those boosts to get battle points to go in and do battles.
that's pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
2 follow-up questions, just kind of, you had mentioned that, you can eventually get a collector score badges to be able to turn into, extra logo pins or exclusives of some sort. Are they going to be like a limited quantity? So it's like, is it the first 500 or whatever number you put on there going to get it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're all going to be rushing to get there first.
I think it's safe to say that FiGPiN in general is going to be moving to more rarity, smaller run sizes, and that includes things like the badges, logo pins, FiGPiNs in general. So yeah, once the the boop beep bop badge pins are gone, then they're gone. There's just no more. They're never going to be made again.
Wow.
And then all arenas are going to be like contained or limited to time frames. It's not going to be like open forever. Like we just spin up a new arena. Like so like the fall arena, it's like October 1st to the end of December, and that's it. So.
And then you had mentioned about the increased collector score, which would also help you. If I understand correctly, what about the people that do the video verification that already have an increased collector score?
What about them?
Are they more likely? Are they going to get to those exclusives faster, or is
it's yeah. So okay, good question. Sorry. You have to remember that if we go, nope, wrong screen. These are considered badges in our system, like account created badge, username created badge, user avatar created badge, FiGPiN Ultra bonus badge. So those will be like battle badge. So if you did 1,000 video verifications, that's not going to affect your battle badge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So
that's a very good specific question, but yeah, it's by the badge.
Gotcha. Cool. Thank you. There was also a question real quick about how would APs work with battles?
I don't think we've decided yet, but just like in the leaderboards where we have a switch for APs and non-APs, I think that'll be, like you'll be able to somehow filter it out. Remember, we'll be able to say, this is a non-AP arena if we wanted to, or we'll be able to say this is for APs only.
Nice.
Or we'll be able to like define who's allowed in and who's not allowed into specific arenas. We could say this is just a Marvel arena, right? Like it's only like Marvel characters or con exclusive. Yeah.
That'd be sweet. Like
Gotcha.
Go to the con, pick them up, hit the launch day. FiGPiN booth has a big battle screen on the back of their booth now, and you show up and we're going to battle it out for your badges. Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah, exactly. So do you guys have, like, do you want me to walk through any other scenarios here in this interface, or do you want me to just?
So I've seen the question a couple of times now, and I think I know the answer just by some of what you shared already, but I've seen it at least 3 times now. Is there a cooldown timer for each individual pin battling?
Why should there be?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm just asking the question from what people are asking. Yeah. Well, and I'm just thinking that people are looking at other app games that they play, and I mean, the first thing that comes off of my mind is best fiends or whatever, and you have so many hearts, and after you use all your hearts, if you lost that level, you have to wait 24 hours or however much time to go ahead and get all those hearts back. So I'm thinking that's maybe where that question's coming from. If there's a time that pin cannot battle for.
Remember though, if you zero out your points, your battle points, it's kind of a forced cooldown, right?
Yeah, and that's why I thought I already knew the answer to it based on what you had shared, but I just wanted to go ahead and ask it because there were some people more asking it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else, guys, that you wanted to that you can think of while we're looking at this?
Not off the top of my head. It looks very cool.
Yeah, we're excited. So Amado, I mean, the one thing that I'm thinking off my head, especially since you just talked about a premium subscription, is there any perk to having or have you thought about having any perk to battles with also having the premium subscription?
I think there's an idea floating back in the day of as part of the subscription, you get like battle points. You get to top off battle points or something like that. But I don't remember the details, so I wouldn't add that to the synopsis of the
There's
show.
talk about it, I think. So you're thinking about that there might be some perk to
Yeah.
having the premium subscription with battles. Okay.
Yeah, I want to make sure that this experience is like really polished, and I think we're probably like 60% of the way with battles right now, maybe 70%. So I want to make sure it's like really polished and really fun and tight, and then we could start layering those other things on down the road. Again, it goes to that test, like, don't ask people for money that they don't see value in. Like, if they don't see value in something, don't ask for money for it.
Yep. Let's see. There's a lot of people asking questions. Oh, is there going to be an overall record of the battles, or is it just by pin? What does that look like?
TBD.
Okay.
I think the concept of like leaderboards and historic, like, we're working on the core of it right now, and all of that stuff can absolutely happen. So it's TBD.
Very cool. And I'm now the next big question that I see people asking, ETA time frame about when we're looking at possibly having this happen. And I know that it's a tough one, and I know that it's important to you to make sure, and I know you've used this word a lot as we're talking about it, it's polished, and we'd love to go ahead and see that. So I'm sure that might be a tough question to answer, but any general time frame that you can share.
I think it's safe to say it's gonna happen. It's absolutely going to happen before the end of the year. It's going to be launched before the end of the year. But before that launches, we're going to put a beta out to like a group of testers, and we're going to try to work out all the kinks. Like, this is probably the most complex thing we've ever launched in the app, and we just want to make sure that it's working right. But I think absolutely before the end of the year, it'll be live in the app. And I did have this conversation with the team first, like, what can I say? Can I say before the end of the year? They're like, yeah. You can.
Kind of based on one of your comments earlier, like, I don't want this to be a strategy session. I can almost guarantee you put out a little beta thing, as soon as it hits, within about a week, we're going to have teams formed, strategy guides, God knows what else we're going to be hitting hard. So be ready for us. We're going to be attacking those servers just like we're battling each other.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think we'll learn from the testers. I think we'll probably find some bugs and holes and things that we could improve. But the core functionality is that a FiGPiN's power is derived from the factory times the story card. And so battles naturally wants to be based on that model. I'm going to, the power of my move, of my roll, of my attack, whatever you want to call it, is based on the dynamic of factory times some story facet that I've done. Adding the serial number there as a wild card, I think, is a lot of fun, because it's not just a mathematical kind of play there. And then adding the 2x boosts is a nod to that whole boost kind of monsters that we created in the unlock room. So it's a way for the world of boosting to kind of get a say in how battles works.
Yes. So and I'm sorry, when you're talking about the boosting piece, do you get to select how many boosts, or if you have 100 boosts and you're choosing to do 2 times, you lose?
It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
So if you only have 1 boost on that pin, it's still giving you 2 times the boost. If you have 100 boosts, it's only giving you 2 times that boost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have 40 boosts, it's an 80 multiplier. If you have 10, it's a 20. Yep.
Nice. I don't know if everybody can tell. I can see it in the comments. I hope everybody sees it in my face. One of the things that got me into collecting these things was one of the very first times I put it in the app. I started scrolling and it said battles coming soon. And from that very moment on, I was hooked. I've been ready to throw down with a bunch of people. I've already made some good friends and enemies. So when it's launched, we're going to be duking it out. I can't wait.
Yeah. We want to make it fun. Oops. Yeah, we want to make it fun. Like, that's so important. And it's taken too long, but it's here. We're finishing it up, and it's going to be fun. We're going to add some sounds in there. It already has some haptic kind of things happening during the play, and I hope everyone enjoys it. It's one of these things it's been so long since we first said we want to do something like this. I can't believe that we're so close to putting it out there. So I'm excited.
Oh man, I don't know if you're watching the comments, but like, shout out Midnight Geek says he can't wait to United States smash somebody. What were some of the other ones? Ready to kick your butts in battle. Lady Liberty to take down Godzilla. Oh, that's going to be a good battle. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
So, well, and that's a good point that Battle just brought up, because it just made me think, and I know you guys are really, in tune with this and famous for it. Are there any Easter egg things that if 2 certain pins battle each other, does it spark a certain event or anything like that?
I think
Like
that's possible.
if I'm battling Goku and Vegeta pops up as my enemy, does something happen with that?
I think it's really important to remember that this whole battles feature is FiGPiN number with its serial number fighting another FiGPiN number with its serial number.
Yep. And
all of its attributes, all of the story cards. So I think if a Last Chopper Out is fighting a Last Chopper Out, yeah, there could be something kind of fun there.
That's cool.
Or if it's a same sequence number, there could be something fun there. But I think if we try to base it on characters and properties, we probably should avoid that, because
totally understood. Yeah. So I know I've seen this question now also. In the event of a tie, what happens?
Yeah, we're still polishing tie breaking. We haven't finished that one yet. So we're still working on that one. In the beginning, like, battles was like there was this idea that tie break was going to be like a this is going to sound insane, but it was going to be voted on by the community, the people in the arena at that moment.
I remember that talk. Yeah.
But I think I think smarter people kind of took over that thing, and this is going to be like a much more elegant like tie break mechanism.
So here's another good question, and I'm sorry to keep throwing that, but the chat's definitely and unfortunately this is like kind of like the negative side of things. And any thoughts about preventing cheating? So you have 2 people that are teaming up to go ahead and inflate their battle point score for each other. I'm not sure if that's something that you guys are even worried about, or
Yeah, I mean, remember that you don't pick who you fight. It's auto pairing in the arena. So I don't know how you would, I mean, I don't know how you would cheat when in that way.
That's good. I think it was the impression of like I got to choose, like John, Alex and I all got together. Okay, John, this time you roll your lowest, I'll roll my high. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense. It's an auto thing. That does help a lot.
Yeah.
Is there going to be an option of maybe high stakes battles where we can put some pink slips on the line? Like I know John has some really epic pins I need, and Alex has some APs I need. Can I throw down with them? If I knock them out, do I get to collect?
What you guys do with these things outside of this is up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, I mean, go ahead.
The other weird thing, I guess, to go ahead and say is I know that Amado has shared some serial numbers, during this demo. So those of us that are video verifiers, if you see a weird picture as Amado just showed, please make sure that we're not verifying that video.
I mean, this will demonstrate that video verification works, right?
Yeah.
Like if someone takes KBF6AD and is like, hey, this is my Batman X34. It's like, good luck.
Yep. Yeah.
Good luck with that. I don't know what to say.
Very cool, man. Yeah. Hey, I mean, I know obviously the community and the chat is excited. I'm sure during, through the other social media platforms, there's plenty of talk about it going on. I actually already got the notification that I see, a friend of ours, FiGPiN Alerts, has already shared some pictures on Instagram with it. So that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing all this, man. I don't, Alex or Battle, do you have any other questions for Amado with the battles?
I do not.
I'm still trying to soak it all in. I guarantee you I'll probably be watching this show for probably a week solid, taking notes.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Getting ready. Like I said, there's going to be some strategy guys out there pretty soon. So as soon as it comes live, we'll be ready for you. Thank you very much for letting us see some of this stuff, hear some of the things that you have coming out for us. I know myself, and I can probably say for many others, we are so excited.
That's awesome, man.
So I just killed the share on. Oh no, I did.
Yep, I'm gonna. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Amado, do you still have time? I know that obviously I don't want to be disrespectful to your family and stuff like that. So I know that we had some other things that we wanted to talk about, and obviously the first one being, and we can't have you on the show without asking, even though you totally just blew everyone's mind away. But any pin leaks that you can go ahead and share? I know during the AMA you went ahead and shared, there was a hint that you gave for pin number 1000. So, anything with Ultra, pin number 1000, maybe a new license that you can go ahead and that the team has shared that you can possibly let the fans know?
What you just said, you just leaked it yourself. Pin 1000 and Ultra are related.
Okay.
Oh shoot! Oh, you heard it here.
All right. Well, there you go. So
it's just like one more piece to that puzzle.
All right. So the first hint was there was feathers in it, and you're going back to your roots. If I remember correctly, right? That's what you said. I think that's what you said, that there was feathers in it, and you're going back to your roots. And now FiGPiN 1000 as well as Ultra are related to each other. Okay. Well, three good hints.
Yeah, they're. I mean, in hindsight, they're going to be super obvious. Maybe not so much the feathers one, but it's a good one.
Well, we appreciate that for sure. Halloween logo promo. Alex, I think you got your shipment already, right?
I did. I got them both right here. I knew you were going to ask about them. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so totally amazing. And Amado, I know that I know that there was I think maybe 10 or 12 logos that had been shared earlier in the year. I think this might have been the last two, if I remember correctly from that. No, there was, I think, a Christmas present one. So yeah, I mean, I know there's a couple more logos coming out. So, but I'm waiting for my delivery, so I'm excited to go ahead and get them in hand. But every picture I've seen, it looks amazing. So definitely very cool.
And maybe this is a good time to ask, there was a lot of talks around the price point for the logo promo. I know when we first started collecting back in the day, it was spend 30 on in stock, merchandise and receive, a random logo promo or whatever. And then it went up to what, 50, and now it's 75. Do you have any comments around the price increase for the promo?
I mean, other than it's gone up from like you described. I mean, that's
Inflation's and
no, it's not so much inflation. It's like what I was saying earlier. There are areas where we have to grow, areas where we have to shrink. I know I got schooled the other day when I was asking in Discord, like, hey, what does a logo go for these days? Like I was just curious, like, what does a logo sell for these days? And they're like $75. And I said, okay, so is it really a bad value proposition that we're putting out there that you get 3 or 4 FiGPiNs plus a logo for $75, whereas in the secondary market, you buy a logo by itself for $75, and then of course everyone's gonna pile on me saying like, oh, now you're just justifying like the cost. We have to try different, and look, you guys see the data too, like everybody knows how many logos moved during that promotion. We have to try different models to understand what works best. Mm-hmm. And so as you saw with the numbers that people scrape from Shopify, bumping up the numbers changes those dynamics, and we have to, like, this is like another data point for us. I think future logo promos will be different. I think we won't put the two logos together. As a matter of fact, when all of that was happening, I talked to our DC guy, our distribution center guy, and I was like, hey, look, can you guys run a script on all the orders that I went through, where people ordered multiple times, and make sure that they're getting different logos? It wasn't going to be 100% success rate, but I was like, please do that. Like, and they did, and they ran like a script, and they pulled those orders apart to make sure that if someone did place 2 separate orders, they got 2 separate logos. And this is like,
we're noticing, yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if you know, but I will guarantee you that the FiGPiN community noticed that. So thank you very much.
We did notice it. Yeah.
And again, like this is the whole feedback loop. We, if we do something, we're going to listen to the community. If we can, we'll try to like adjust on the fly, make it better. Was the $75 price point the right thing? I don't know. Was putting the 2 logos together the right thing? Probably not. Like we got the feedback from the community, or to use a different word, the backlash. And I tried to adjust it on the fly by talking to our team and saying, please, make sure that it happened that way. And I think I know the guy, like, I know he was going to make sure 100% of them. And he's like, Amado, I can't guarantee 100%, but I can guarantee probably like 99% will be that way. I'm like, you're the best.
Awesome,
thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate, but what's his first name? So we can at least just go ahead and shout out him for.
This is Glenn.
Fine. Well, we appreciate you, man, for doing that. I'm sure every collector out here that's.
Yeah. It was just like, it was, it's definitely more work, but we, like when we have to listen to the community. Like you guys, you hear me say this all the time. You guys give us your hard-earned money for something that we manufacture, for something that we make, and we have to really respect that relationship, that arrangement.
Glenn is the GOAT.
Yeah,
Glenn, we want you on the show. We need to hear about your life. We need to hear about your story.
Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's one of my favorite people. It's really something. Yeah.
You get some love right now in the chat. That's awesome.
Well, I love the logo pins. They're amazing. It's one of the things that started me collecting, and so I always get really excited when there's a logo drop. So
there is one thing, and John, we had chatted about it. Like, John, if I sent you an email now, would you be able to post the link maybe in YouTube at some point?
Sure.
Okay, so I just sent you the email. This is kind of a excuse me, this is kind of a sad story here, but I think we're in a place as a company where we could where we could help people, and I think we should. During New York Comic Con, there was a cosplayer there who something happened to him and he collapsed and ended up dying at the con on the floor. And one of our team members, Levi, you guys all know Levi, he was with him when that happened. It was, it's not something you want for anyone to experience, but Levi was there, and this guy passed away, and he was his name is Mitchell Drucker, and he was a big cosplayer, right? And what I thought would be nice is if the FiGPiN community could somehow show, and again, he was not, I just want to be very clear about this, that this guy was not a fan of FiGPiNs. I don't know if he ever heard of FiGPiNs. We just know that he was a cosplayer. He was a Boba Fett cosplayer, big into Star Wars. And he lost his life at the event. He touched us because of what happened with Levi. And I've emailed to you a Make-A-Wish link to a fundraiser that's being run in his name. And what I'd like to do, and with your help, John, is anyone from the FiGPiN community that donates to this Make-A-Wish page will be entered into a drawing to win one of I'm going to pull like 2 or 3 APs of every Boba Fett we've ever made, because we've made, I think, like 6 maybe, or
I believe that's
5
right.
or 6 different Boba Fetts. So it'll be about 12 or 15 Boba Fett, like a pool of 12, 15 Boba Fetts, and we'd like to just give them to anyone that makes donation to Mitchell Drucker's Make-A-Wish. We haven't talked to them. We haven't talked to the people running this thing. Again, he was not a fan of FiGPiN. He was not related in any way to what we do. We just think we have this opportunity to do good, to
give it back to
show him and the people that he to show the people that he did all this cosplay with, that there's goodness out there. There's good out there, I should say, and see if we can make this thing. See if we can move the needle on his Make-A-Wish.
Sure.
So
I haven't received the email yet, but once I do, I'll go ahead and make sure to post it.
Okay.
And I'm not positive with Make-A-Wish, but I would think that if there's a way to go ahead and comment, if we can put either, and I know we used this last year, during, we were helping another collector out. If we can go ahead and post either hashtag FiGPiN cares or FiGPiN gives back, it would help us go ahead and identify, those that donated on behalf of FiGPiN.
Yeah.
So that would be helpful.
I think on the donate page, there's it says like, how would you like your name displayed? So if you guys are okay with it, and this is just a suggestion, if you say like John parentheses FiGPiN,
Even better. Yep.
Alex parentheses FiGPiN, that way we know through the list of donors that this was done in the name FiGPiN, and then we'll be able to track it that way. To me, it's a little weird doing that, because it seems like we're trying to like put our name out there, but I don't know any other way of making this work for us right now.
We'll muddle that idea around too. I think that's a very good start, very generous contribution. If we think of something else, we'll let you know, but I think it'll be more received as just a way of us being able to track it.
And so I'll go ahead and add to this. And, Battle was gracious enough to go ahead and, when he came to New York City Comic-Con, he actually got me a set of New York City Comic-Con pins. I have not unlocked it. I will add the entire set of New York City Comic-Con pins to that pool. So, we'll have the 12 to 15 APs that Amado's doing, and we'll give away, the entire FiGPiN collection of New York City Comic-Con's pins as well. So Battle, thank you for for giving it to me, and gracious enough to go ahead and be able to pass it forward as well.
Pass it forward. That's what we love about this community. Amen to that.
So anything we can do, guys, to help out, Mitchell and his family in this tough time is appreciated.
Okay, awesome. So I think, like from my perspective, I think this is everything that I wanted to share with you guys. We do have, there's one more thing. We do have a new feature in the app that we're working on, which is based on logo pins, on FiGPiN logo pins, where if you collect a set of pins, specific pins, it unlocks a story card that lets you get a logo pin directly shipped from us. You'll just have to pay for like the shipping on it, because we just can't, we can't.
Hold on a second. Hold on, because I haven't even opened this yet, and I want to ask if this is going to be included in it here.
Oh no,
are there 4 pins in that box, John?
There are 4 pins in this box.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Then yes. Yes. Yeah, that's the inaugural kind of set for this promotion.
Well, that's awesome.
So
you heard it
so
here.
if you unlock the 4 pins, the 4, like the 3 soldiers and the front man from Squid Game, each will have a story card, and like it doesn't matter which one, but it'll basically say you've unlocked all 4 of the set. Congratulations! You can now redeem this logo pin.
Cool.
And it's just going to send you an invoice to your email that you have to pay. And again, that's just to ship the thing to you, because we don't want
I think that's fair enough. That's way more than fair enough, for sure.
And we have a few other logo pins set up like that that we're going to do. So I can't tell you which ones those are, but they're really fun.
That's awesome, man. Very cool. Well, Amado, I mean, we appreciate you so much. We're hitting an hour and a half, so I know that we don't want to take any more of your time. We were going to chat about Sailor Moon and Treehouse of Horror pins, but we can go ahead and let you go, and we can finish the show with that. But yeah, thank you, Amado, so much. Alex and Battle, I don't know if you have anything else to ask Amado or not, but go ahead.
I don't think so. Just again, much appreciated. It was awesome to see the battles and what's coming to FiGPiN's future. So
yeah. Now I have to tell you, like, I try to read like body language, and so as I was demoing the battles, and I know you guys are doing other things with the chats and all of that, but I didn't get the kind of like, ooh, this is really cool body language on the battles demo.
Oh,
and I for me, I don't know if it was because I demoed it wrong or because it's not compelling or what, but and again, I'm not asking that you kind of fake it or anything, but you haven't told me what you think about it.
When we had the chance to ask the questions, that's when I got more excited about it, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All I know is I was over here trying to soak it all in. Like I can't even explain like how many different thoughts I had. Like I said, the strategy guides are coming. Like it's not that we weren't excited. Yeah. I think it was just more of like
we're just soaking it all in.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, inhale mode. Yeah, just like how is this going to work? How am I going to do this? Okay, booster in effect, strategy. Which cards am I going to play? So like there was a lot of like, let's get our hands on it. Let's I think once it's out there, you'll see a good grasp. A lot of people will be doing some info on it. It'll do some good.
And and we'll do things like like 1-day arenas, like pop-up
awesome.
arenas where it's just like, hey, Friday
Friday fights. Friday fight.
Friday fight. Yeah, exactly. So it'll be fun.
So before you leave, there is 3 things that I do have to, I guess,
just 3
ask or put in there. One, I know you said that you were going to have a beta of battles. Obviously, I can't go ahead and not ask that our man FiGPiN battle go ahead and at least be considered for the beta version of that. The second thing is Treehouse of Horror. I know it looks amazing. It's coming out. And I can't go ahead and again not ask since you're on the show. And I think we did this the last time for Jason Nelson, super fan of The Simpsons. So again, anything to help him, complete his AP collection. Again, just putting it out.
Right.
No promises. But and then the third thing is, I don't know if you still need help at Los Angeles Comic-Con, but Professor FiGPiN. I know he's more than happy to go out and to join you guys there as well. So I think he would be a great addition to have that there.
I mean, so two of those things are actually excellent points, and they address they address like these growing pains that we're having as a company. One of the things that I'm working really hard on, like as an owner and as a leader, is to not micromanage stuff, right? To go in and fix things where I think they need fixing, but also sometimes just like let them be and kind of let them do their own thing. And so something like the volunteers at cons, you've heard me say this. I think a lot of people have heard me say this, like, don't ask me. There's a whole mechanism set up, and if there's something broken there, I'm going to go in and fix it. And I think it's important for people to understand that, there's like an investment that's done in volunteers, where you have the first show and the second show, and now they kind of know how to do it. And so if you have a choice between someone who's seasoned and someone who's like new, and there's like time crunch, you're going to go with someone that's done it already, right?
Totally understood. Yeah. Again, I was just putting it out in the ether. I know that you're responsible for it, but I was just wanted to go ahead and put a drop out there for him.
Yeah, it's actually a fantastic question, right? And same for the beta thing, which is, the first like 3 years of the FiGPiN app, it was like I was super micromanager of it, but now that we have this like great team, I'm trying to not like do that. But at the same time, if I see things not working right, I'll definitely go in there and say, hey guys, we should fix this or the other thing. So these are 2 examples where I'm really leaning on the teams to make the right calls, to make the right decisions. And, I'll talk to them, see if they've, if their heads are on straight, but for the most part, we're seeing it in action, like that they are doing well. And, like I said, we're always trying to do our best. Are we perfect? No. Do we learn from our mistakes? Yes. And the product is the thing that we always want to raise up, above everything else. Like the product, the fans, the team. It's like this really beautiful pyramid that we're, this hierarchy. But at the very top is like, are we making the absolute best product that we can?
Awesome. Well, again, Amado, thank you so much. You have an amazing evening, and we'll catch you next time. Obviously, as always, if there's anything that we need to do to support you, let us know.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate the invite, and it's good to see you guys. It'll be fun to read through all of the comments because I will. And have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Holy smokes, that was awesome. Wow. Goodness, like I'm still trying to soak it all in. Like I don't even know what just happened. I'm gonna have to watch this episode a million times.
That was so epic. Very cool.
I'm very happy that you chose us as a platform to be able to share this experience and upcoming news, with the community. So that was very much.
I really agree.
Pleasure.
We had a heck of a good turnout. I think I saw over 100 some odd people pretty much tuned in consistently. I think that was super fun. I'm super excited. I don't think I even touched a quarter of the things that has to do with, like, the battles, how it works, how it's going to go down. So I'm excited to see what happens. Man, what an awesome little show. I was excited. I wish we could go on for like another hour and a half.
Well, yeah, and I don't want to take too much more time, but I know there was like a couple of things that we wanted to touch on. So we had the one piece Luffy pins that were released. One of them was the common, and then we have Pins on Fire's exclusive of Luffy. So that was a pretty cool release that we had coming up. Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. What do you guys think?
Don't hold, bro. That thing's epic.
So awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that whole line. The two aliens, those guys are so fun all the time to be there, and you have Spider Bart happening there. So it's going to be cool. It's such an amazing line for sure.
I will say, maybe they've once again heard the people's calling, and this is pretty darn good timing, in my opinion. I mean, Halloween season is coming up, Treehouse of Horrors. Like, hats off to them. I think they made a good release and a good time.
I agree.
Very cool. And then Sailor Moon just announced today, right? So we have all 5 Sailor Moon pins. 4 of them are exclusive to Chalice Collectibles, and then one of them is a common.
Dang, I didn't know that.
But
that's crazy.
What do you guys think about? I mean, so they have them available. They will have them available. It looks pretty awesome. I mean, I'm excited for those pins to go ahead and release and have everyone, see what what they look like.
So
now,
go for
I'm
it.
pretty sure in the AMA, didn't Amado mention something about also a box set?
There was a box set for sure mentioned there. And I know there was a lot of people that had asked that question. I believe Young Castro might have been one of them, but I'm not sure. I'll have to scroll up and see. But I'm 99% sure during the AMA, he had mentioned that there was a box set for Sailor Moon.
We almost got it out of him tonight. I almost had him slip up, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes down.
Yeah. What's funny is those 2 minutes I was away, I was like, oh man, I wonder what's happening. And as I was walking back in, I'm like, man, I missed something good for sure.
Yeah, that was awesome. Shout out to Chalice Collectibles. They've been doing some really good things. I believe they are just starting to see the tip of the iceberg of the things that they have to come. So watch for them, sign up, watch. It's going to be really neat. Congrats on all of the exclusives. That's really cool. I need to start watching Sailor Moon, I think.
I've been contemplating it too, but then again, I don't want to have to collect another line.
Oh, I know. I think they've been doing FiGPiN, has been doing a good job. Did you happen to see the account of who got to announce the Sailor Moon lineup today? That they posted on FiGPiN's story?
I saw the picture. I didn't see the account though, who that person is. So yeah, I'm excited to go ahead and try to, find that out and just kind of see what they were chatting about in her video.
You know what? I mean, I know that in the community, sometimes they always are like, well, they pick some weird people to sometimes announce some stuff. This one was, who was it? Oh, I won't even get the name right. It's like Ochiba Wolf Collection, Sailor Moon, Pokemon, all that. Something like 31,000 followers. I mean, this lady has everything you could imagine Sailor Moon on her page. So if you guys haven't followed it yet, go to the FiGPiN Instagram page, look at their stories, click on her Instagram, follow her. I mean, she does a bunch of Sailor Moon stuff. I think she probably did them pretty darn good justice announcing them.
Someone also caught it. There was a TikTok that they were showing off Sailor Moon, and it looked just like the exclusive, but yet the number on the pin was 800 some, which I believe is the common. And then later that day, today, it was announced that the common. So
Dang, I did not know.
they're kind of doing like these little hidden little sneak peek gems and releases without, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, you definitely got to be on the ball. I don't have my tiki-taki, so I'm gonna have to sign up.
Definitely.
No, just kind of touching base real quick if we want to circle back to like the Comic-Cons. So I liked it, totally makes sense what Amado was saying about like the seasoned people wanting, to help with it makes sense, right? If you have someone that already knows what they're doing instead of wasting time training a new person. It would be cool just from other standpoints, right? To give maybe some other people, to broaden their horizon of people that can be seasoned, that they can pull for these, conventions, especially if they're going to be coming to, Midwest and the East more, it makes sense to kind of broaden your collectors that were willing to volunteer. So hopefully maybe they'll listen and pull some more people, and it's not just, the West Coast volunteers that get to hang out with the crew.
And I've been super blessed to be able to go to 2 different of their cons, and I believe out of the 2 cons, there was only one person I worked with twice. So I don't know their requirements. I don't know their needs. They are pretty hard and heavy. I mean, I will say you can ask Joseph Getty. I mean, you can ask a couple of them. Some of those jobs are extremely hard. I mean, we get worked pretty rough out there. No complaints. It's amazing. But I mean, it's not like something you can just be like, hey, show up. I need you to do this. But I think I would like to believe, and again, maybe I'm just talking from my 2 experiences. Maybe if I went back and looked at, all the cons and collective and saw all the pictures of who was there. But I would like to believe that, they do have a semi-broad collection of people. I, for one, would love to also be able to see a lot of other collectors get in there too. And then my personal expression is, when Amado came on tonight and said that they're going to be going to way more cons as they were this year already, I think it's inevitable that they're going to have to, at some point, get a few more people in, because not everybody can make it every single time. Work, school, kids, things like that. So
yeah,
I think they have some good stuff in.
Definitely. Alex, do we have anyone for our next show?
We do.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have seen his name around the chat, especially the FiGPiN fans Discord, but it's Mr. Hot Melons.
Nice. I love
So
it.
I asked
it's funny. There was a lot of people making fun about when I said app penetration. Let's see what people say now. You just said hot melons.
Hey, that's his name. I didn't make it up. But so I asked, I was like, do you want to go by your real name, or do you want us to introduce you? And he's like, let's keep the Melons name. So I was like, all right.
Sounds cool.
So we have Mr. Melons.
Hot Melons. All right, that's awesome. I have seen that name in the chat a few times. I think I always get confused and have to do a double take, because there's like hot tamale, hot melons, like all those other ones. I'm like, who the heck is okay, hot melons. All right. So yeah, I'm excited. That'll be fun. Sounds like a character already.
I think it's good to get someone that we probably have never maybe knowingly talked to. So I think it'll be good to get a different perspective and fresh blood, fresh meat on here.
Nice. Good.
Awesome. All right, well, guys, I think that's everything that we wanted to chat about tonight. Again, shout out to Amado. We appreciate him greatly for coming on and sharing the demo of FiGPiN battles. So you got the first chance, and as Alex mentioned before, we truly appreciate you using our platform to go ahead and share that information with the community. So thank you as well.
Yeah,
what the FiGPiN, for sure, man. So we'll catch up with you guys next time with Hot Melons on the show. We'll go ahead and once I get the link, we'll post the Make-A-Wish link for the donations to go ahead and give away the AP Boba Fett's, as well as, and again, this is really kind of a battle thing. I was just, he was just gracious enough to go ahead and give me the set. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pay it forwards and try to get some more help for the family there with Mitchell. And we'll go ahead and get you a entire set of the New York City Comic-Con pins. So make sure you're looking out for that. Alex, do you have anything to finish the show with us tonight?
Nope. Just kind of reiterate the show with Hot Melons will be in 2 weeks. So I know we did 2 shows back to back, but we're going to go back to our 2-week rotation. So at least for now, who knows? We like you guys. We keep bringing these special episodes. But yeah, so it will be November 8th. So tune in on that Tuesday to watch that show. Make sure you're hitting our like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're still trudging away. We're almost to the 5,000 or 500 subscribers. So
This is a great giveaway for that.
Yep.
Let's go.
Few more to 500, and then once we get to the 1,000 mark, you know, guys, we're giving away this pin here. So keep sharing, keep liking, comments. You know, not only just during the show, but comment on our videos so we get more traction within the algorithms to go ahead and get our presence known out there. So we appreciate all the support. Battle, what about you, my friend?
Shout out to my hero, Glenn in the warehouse. Glenn, you're the man. We need you on the show. I love Amado. I know he won't take this the way I'm going to say it. I love having him on the show, but you know what? I am more excited about how many people we had tune in tonight. Thank you all to our wonderful guests. Without you, we would be nothing. It blows me away every week how many people we have jump on and watch us. Thank you all so much. If there's anything we can ever do for you, let us know. Please, there's 100 people on. We need your stories. We want to hear from you. If you want to jump on our show, please reach out. We would love to hear your story.
So there is one last thing that I want to do, and I just received this in the mail. So I'm opening this live, but it is from Joseph Getty. So I have no idea what he sent me. And we've sent stuff in the past to each other, so I know he has my address. Dude. So
back-to-back weeks of faces.
This was the only Shenron AP I did not have, and I'm Joseph, man. Dude.
That's awesome.
I cannot believe
you know he sent that to you for a giveaway. That it wasn't for you, it was for the show.
Is that the glitter one?
It is, yeah. It's the I believe with
version.
It was from one of the cons, and it was the only Shenron that I did not have the AP version of. So
that's awesome.
Wow, man, Joseph, thank you so much, man.
Shout out to
appreciate it,
man.
And I'm glad that I got to go ahead and do that on air. I'm Battle you last week with you with the Hedwig, and now this one, man. Like, thank you.
We just love seeing those rosy cheeks, my friend.
Yeah.
Too funny, but
it's a huge deal for us.
Yeah, it is. It's very huge for sure. Guys, as always, thank you so much. Make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribe. Please share our channel on your social media platforms. We'd love to go ahead and get to that 500 as well as 1,000 mark. Alex, Battle, as always, it's been an amazing pleasure. Keep up the amazing work, guys. And we will catch you next show. Battle. Oh, yep. Make sure that hair is looking good, man. Battle, you ready to go ahead and do our outro? All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
2, 1.
Boost
Boost
stop. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
Yee. That was awesome.